Hello, I am Dr. Craig Selinger, and we are at the Injury Podcast. Welcome back to Season 2.
Woo!
And look around. We are recording in a new studio. We are definitely leveling up our game because this mission that I'm on is just too important. And it's important to me, and it's important to our patients and anyone out there that's suffering with injuries. But I couldn't do it without this team. These guys make it me able to do what I do. And I just want to thank them, and I brought them on because they're just so important in what we do. So I'm going to introduce each one of them. To my right is Tayina.
Hi.
All right. How's it going?
Pretty good. A little nervous, but I'm here.
So what do you think of the studios? This is pretty cool.
It is. It really is.
It's
like
nice.
the first studio I've ever seen. So in person, it looks amazing.
Right.
I like the red and black, though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. So Tayina has been with us for a long time. She's a ninja, whether it be at treating patients to doing admin work. She's just amazing. I'm so thankful she's on our side, on our team. And then the next person we have right here, next staff member, is Hemenna.
Hello.
How's it going today?
Good, a little rainy, but we're here. I'm excited for this relaunch, revamp, and I'm excited for all of you guys to see this too.
Yeah, awesome. And you drove here today. I know all the way from where our office is. It's a lot of traffic. Is everything okay today? You got here all right?
Yeah.
Got parking?
Yeah, it was good. We figured it out.
It is like her first year. It's about to be a year at our office.
Yes, I just hit a year at the office.
Yeah.
Awesome. And she's going to be a physical therapist one day.
Yes.
And she's going to be awesome at that. She cares. Her sense when she's treating patients, she just cares so much about them, and they love her. They love all the staff. So, and the next person to my left is Tayina.
Hello.
Our new recent hire.
Yeah.
Tayina is newer in our office, and she's just like, come on, and just everything that we're putting in front of her, she's picked up everything so quickly, is helping the patients. She's also going to be going to medical school in the future, and
God willing.
Yes.
You will.
Absolutely. You're going to be helping a lot of people improve their lives and save lives in the future, which would be great. And I think you'd be great at that. And
Thank you.
So this is my team. Again, I'm so thankful and blessed to have such good staff. Because in an office, that's it. Everybody just sometimes looks at, oh, who's the doctor? But believe it or not, the staff is just as important.
Yeah.
Because they keep everything going. They keep the experience going. They keep the quality in there. So believe me, it's essential to have an amazing staff, which I do. I'm very lucky and blessed.
We're like the engine to your office.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being so nice, Doc. And
Yeah,
I mean, you're amazing as well. We wouldn't have an office without you. So
It's
let's
very
give
rare.
yourself credit.
It's
too.
very rare you find a really nice doctor like you.
Or even just engage with every person that
Or even
comes
just a good
in.
boss.
Yeah.
Because you're the
Thank
best
you.
boss too.
He did
Thank
take me
you.
for lunch today, so thank you, Doc.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was really good.
Yeah, we had a good time. Next time, we'll get everybody out of lunch.
Yeah.
B&S, Kelly. So we'll
All
do
right,
that.
Doc. Well, you asked us questions. Now here's our questions to you. Why did you decide to start the Injury Podcast?
Well, I decided to start the Injury Podcast for several reasons. One, my own personal injuries I've had when I was younger. I got seriously injured playing ice hockey. I was out of school for 6 months. I had to then have another surgery as well. So I was at one point in my life, and this totally hit me in the face. It changed so much in my life, from my friend circles to school. It's just so many different aspects, and I couldn't unfortunately return to the sport. So my own personal injuries led me to have empathy. I understood that it's just more then, you have a little bit of pain and you can't play hockey anymore. The other next thing that happened that was really substantial in terms of seeing injuries and understanding them from a different perspective was when my mother fell back in 2015. She fell, later passed away due to complications, and her injuries affected me, affected my sister, affected her sisters. It affected her independence. It robbed her of independence. I mean, I was going through so many things. She was going through so many things. I never would imagine unless you're in it. Some things you could just hear about, but other things you experience and you get that perspective. And in the office for years, I've been almost doing this for 3 decades. I've seen the effects that an injury can have on people. When people get injured, I've heard people say, I can't go to church anymore because they can't sit for too long, or they can't work and they need work notes, or they have to find another job, or patients, they're not able to communicate with their spouse anymore. There can be all kinds of different emotional and relationship issues that occur because of an injury. So it's the effects of the injury. It's not just, their leg or their back hurting. It affects so many different things. So I wanted to bring some light to that, start a conversation about what that is about. And I wanted to create a platform, even like a community, to let people know they're not alone. We're out here and, we're showing hope and inspiration as well, and things that they can do to better themselves. So many times people go to the doctor or therapist or someone, and they just outsource everything to that doctor or therapist. They don't know what to ask. They don't know what goals they should have, what they should do at home. I want to provide more information so people can take control of their healthcare, take responsibility for it, educate, empower, motivate, help people get better outcomes. A lot of times when we talk to people in the office, home exercises are so key. If they don't do that, the things that we recommend, a lot of times they might not get better. They won't. So I wanted to create something that we can put out there that would help people, because there's just nothing that I found really that was providing that information, that inspiration.
Thanks for being so personal and sharing your stories, Doc. That's hard to do, to open up to so many people, but I'm sure there's people that can relate. And even if they can't relate, what do you hope that people who are listening will get out of this podcast?
Well, a couple of things like what I said before. One, I want people to understand getting better and getting strong again it's possible. It's doable. People are doing it. And to have a little bit of grit, perseverance, ask questions, be involved in the process, because it's your health. Take responsibility for your health. And in the podcast as well, we're going to have doctors. We're going to have people that are going to come on and give advice, give takeaways that can help people cope with certain situation, or maybe a new therapy that they might not have known about, so they can learn about something new that might help them. They can hear from experts without having to go to a doctor's office, take off work. So it's just providing that information and making sure that they feel empowered. They're not alone. And I want them to get value out of every single podcast we do.
Awesome. That's good.
So I know you touched base earlier about your own injury you faced with your hockey. How have those experiences shaped the way you look at recovery?
Well, it was, I think looking back, when I was injured and seeing my mom's injuries and so forth, it's when you hear about somebody getting hurt, sometimes it doesn't really resonate with you because you didn't experience the pain that person's going through. So I think it taught me a lot about empathy, to understand what people are going through
Also patience.
and the patience. So I understand what it's like when you're turning in bed and you're getting sharp, excruciating pain. I understand when you can't walk right and you're trying to learn how to walk properly again. So I think that's what I learned from some of my injuries, and the patience I seen for the almost 3 decades. This different injuries also affect different people. So not everybody is the same. Some people bounce back quickly. Some people don't. Some people have pain tolerances that are super high, and some people can't handle that much pain. Some people are able to adapt and recover better than others. So it's individual, and every injury matters. Every comeback deserves to be told. So, I mean, that's what I've learned from my personal experience being in practice. And you know what? Sometimes coming back, when you get better, you're not 100% how you were before, right? Yeah. But you can develop resiliency. You could develop new strengths. You could figure out other ways to do what you want to do and not buy into you have to live with it. You have to learn to live with it. You know, hearing statements from doctors like that, or sorry, there's nothing else we can do. So seeing this for so many years, I've seen people bounce back from injuries that were very tragic. I was surprised myself. But the will and the mindset, super important to getting better. Patients being disciplined, doing what they need to do every day to get better, and being just totally obsessed with it. Totally obsessed with getting better and recovery, and not giving up. And once you give up, that's it. You're done. But having that resiliency, that's showed me a lot.
Oh, that's good, Doc. Awesome. My next question. What's the biggest misconception people have about recovery from an injury?
I think everybody thinks it's in a couple of weeks I'm doing cartwheels. Everybody thinks that, oh, I saw somebody, they were injured, and I'm just going to be back in a day or two. So I see the frustrations people have. We live in this instant gratification world, right? Everybody wants things yesterday. And healing is a process. It's not just a single event where magically you're better. Now, sometimes that happens. Sometimes people bounce back really fast and they're better, quicker. And that's great. Hey, that's awesome. We want that. But sometimes healing takes longer, and it depends on the person. What age are they? What other complicating factors do they have? What do they have any prior injuries? Things like that are really important. So I think people need to understand that it takes work to get better. And it's not something you can just outsource to a doctor or a therapist and say, hey, when I go to the physical therapist or the chiropractor or the doctor, they get me better. No, you get you better. You have to have that mindset. And that's a big misconception I think people have, is that somebody's going to fix me.
Or like a pill or something can fix you, but it's not like that. It takes a lot of time.
It does.
And effort too from the patient themselves.
You got to have grit.
Yeah.
You got to have a little bit of grit.
Or just like with medication and like injections, like how they say, oh, I just want to do that. Or there's some that say, I don't want to rely on injections. What's another option?
Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of different treatments that patients can opt for, and which is fine. And they need to make a great educated decision. That's why when they go to the doctor, they should write down questions before they go in. They should understand every aspect about what's going on in their care so they can make better decisions and do that, and not be kind of pushed into something and then have questions later. So it takes work, and you have to also have patience. you have to have a foundation. I think when you have people around you that are supportive.
And they uplift you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And one of the things I think we do in our office is we're kind of like their cheerleaders too.
Yeah.
You know, right?
You know, get a lot
100%.
like, oh, I come here for my therapy session with you anytime when we do treatment. Yeah, they say that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really important. Those are some of the misconceptions I think people have about therapy. You know, it's a quick fix.
No, yeah.
No.
Yeah, and Doc, I was wondering, why is it so important for everyone to hear these real human stories of people who've overcome these injuries?
Well, I think people remember stories more than facts. And when they hear someone's story, they can identify with that person, they could understand a struggle, and they could have more, they'll probably remember it. And maybe be a source of inspiration. There was this famous quote that I got from this movie, and it always keeps me going when maybe I doubt certain things that I can do. It's from the movie The Edge with Anthony Hopkins, and he said, "What one man can do, so can another." And they were being hunted down by a giant grizzly bear in, I think it was Alaska. And he just, what one person can do by hunting a bear another time or whatever, another person could do. They could conquer that huge obstacle. One man could go to the moon, so can another. This person could do this, so can another. And I think, we set limiting beliefs in our mind, and with stories, it comes back to, he did it, I can do it. I think people identify and get that more than just like medical jargon, just talking a bunch of different facts. Like there's a lot of medical shows out there, and some of them have great information, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need that. But I really want those kind of stories to help inspire and motivate people. Strong again, that's something, we actually have this sign in our office. It's in neon. It says strong again. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be 100% back to where you were. I think that recovering from an injury, we don't necessarily want to go backwards. We want to move forwards. So going back to your original, I think we need to rethink it. I think we need to go forward to your new, developing new strengths, being more resilient, and understanding, right, you might not be able to, run that marathon like you used to do last year or 6 months before. But okay, maybe you can have the strength and the fortitude to discipline to do another sport, swim, and you could swim 1,000, 2,000 meters. To me, and I always say, find myself saying, come back. But it's just, in a way, we want to go forward or move forward. And I think that's what strong again means. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be 100% to where you were. Now, you could be, or better, okay? But I think we need to look at it in broader terms, in that in our quest, in our journey to get better and improve ourselves and recover from injuries, we're going to build new muscles. We're going to see things differently. So a lot of times in life, something tragic happens. We learn something about ourselves. We learn something about other people. But it's an opportunity to use that adversity to go to the next level and level up. And to me, that's what it means.
level up to the top.
Yeah.
And I don't think like, it's such a bad thing if you come strong again and it's different. You
Right.
can still do the things you love, the sports you were doing before, but just might be a little different this time, but you're still going to be strong doing it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
'cause
And
so
I
many-
think that's what people need to take away from what we're saying. And being strong again, it's not such a bad thing. It's the way you look at it.
Yeah.
Mentality.
Yeah.
Right. Mindset.
Right? It's a mindset.
Mind over matter.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly. And again, I want to thank my team for supporting me and helping me so much because honestly, without them, I wouldn't be able to share and I wouldn't be able to do these type of things. So thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank you, Doc.
each and every
Thanks
one of
for
you.
having us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.